So I hope I share the screen. So we have completed box models, padding, and then this text things, CSS fonts, CSS list, and we are in. Just to confirm, let me know, ma, whether CSS position has been completed or not. CSS position. I think we have completed that as well, right? So we need to start with CSS transformation. Am I right? So we need to start with CSS transformation. Can you give me the confirmation, students? So in a daily basis, if I take sessions, just note down. So what are the topics I'm completing? Okay, so that it will be helpful for both of us, for you and as well as me. Okay, and one more additional thing, I just want to tell you, that is nothing but you guys have to create a batches, that is group. So in a group, you can have a minimum of 3 students and maximum of 4 students, or maximum 4 to 5 students can be there. Okay, so what you have to do is you need to create a project which should impact the user. Okay, so that is the main motto why we are doing this program. Clear? And then this is for your capstone project. I'm talking about the capstone project. So just plan yourself. Whatever the project is going to be, don't repeat the same project. Like I can see some students will be giving library management and some student management. So don't repeat it. I I always recommend my students to complete one final project. Example, let's say the React.js booming now. Okay, React.js with Spring Boot. If you know how to work with this two thing, okay, instead of going with Java, JSP servlets, so that also good. But when you go to, if you want a good package in industries, you obviously you know this particular thing, then you are going to get a good packages in the company. Clear? So try to create more projects on this React with the Spring Boot. Okay. I will show you at last, I will show you the final project with React JS with the Spring Boot. It's just an employment management. So how we can manage the employees, how we can add the details. So just a CRUD operation kind of thing. Then what you can do is you can add some more details over there. Clear? So you'll be having a capstone project. So that is for 25 hours totally. So I'll be, organizing the things with you. But I'm just giving a hint. Okay, just prepare. As of now, you guys have to just think about, okay, think about the project. A project, what project is going to be? Okay, what's your project? So that you should decide as of now. And then next thing is, what are the technologies you are going to use? Technology is very, very important, students. Don't go with a front end. You can create front end. Front end, creating a front end is very, very simple, right? Just a HTML, CSS. So now, as of now, by next week, I'll be completing our front end part. Okay. So you started to create. So example, let's say, I think to create a project regarding, okay, video streaming. Okay. I plan to create a video streaming. So video streaming means the front end. What are the technologies I need? I need a front end part. Let me increase the size. Okay, this is my front end part. So in the front end part, what happened? The front end part, I need to include something. So either you can go with a basics of HTML, CSS, and JS. Okay. Or you can create a page using a React JS. Okay. So this you have to design. That is for front end. And when you go to the back end, And here also one more additional, you can use a CSS with a bootstrap or something like, like bootstrap and the other frameworks that you can include, and jQuery. Okay, there are some libraries are there. You can use this, or either you can go with React.js, the other additional things. And backend, Spring Boot or Java. Okay, so or you can go with JSP server. Here and database, here we will learn about two things. One is in my sessions, I will explain you what is about MySQL. And later on the bootcamp, you will learn about MongoDB. Okay, you can use MongoDB or MySQL, but if you use Hibernate, uh, easy to use Hibernate. Okay, so it is automatically involved. So I will show you an example also. You don't want to worry about it. Okay, so just as of now, I'm asking you to decide. Okay, just decide a project name. Okay, project name, and if possible, but you cannot do it now. What are the technologies you can work on? So just decide the project name alone as of now. Clear? I hope everyone is getting my point. I probably will be sharing a Google link from on this Tuesday or by today. If I get time today, I'll be sharing it today. Okay. So I will separate. I'll give the name. So because of one issue, I'm just waiting. What is the issue is the names whichever the students are giving, it is sometimes repeated, and some students are not regular, and some students are regular, but they are keep on sending the message. I literally get confused of this, so that's why I'm just waiting for this project. Okay, so once we complete the front end part, please guys start to create a project. Okay, so it will be very simple. Combine together, split yourself. Just think as a developer or technical person, divide the projects or the modules among yourself. Example, if it is going to be a front end, so I will just look about some React JS part. So you can go with if I go to a backend, so you can take care of it. So like this, you have to split it you among yourself. Okay, so that it will be easy for you. I hope everyone is getting my point. Can I get some thumbs up or say yes or no, students? Let's move on to the topic. Okay, ma. Thank you, Lakshmi. What about the remaining students? Okay, thank you, Suran. Okay, Ramesh. Okay, today we will complete CSS part entirely. Okay, and I think our next class is on Tuesday, right? So on Tuesday, I will explain you the details of how you can work on with the basics of HTML CSS entire page. Okay. Okay. Okay, now we are going to see about CSS transformation. So what is CSS transformation? Transform in the sense something it is going to transform, right? So it's going to create something differently, like we can say like a kind of animated thing, right? So that is going to be a transformation. So it is a powerful tool actually. So this allows you to apply a various transformation to the element. If example, I have an element. So let's take this is an element. Okay, let's go on to the next slide. So okay, CSS transformation. CSS transform, the property name which we are going to use is transform. Okay, and CSS used to change the coordinate spaces of a visual formatting model. This is used to add the effects like skew, rotate, and translate. Let's take, so I have a element here. Okay, so we may have some headings or a paragraph, whatever. I want to just do some kind of changes to this particular element, then how we can do it? We can do the transformation. Example, I want to rotate this. How I can rotate it? Example, if I give something, it is going to be, it's not erasing. Okay. So what we can do is, I have an element H1 and the paragraph. Okay. So first we'll talk about the skew. So what is skew? Skew means it diagonally changes the value. Okay, it is going to diagonally changes all the element, both in x-axis and y-axis. If you give x-axis, it will change the value in the x-axis horizontally, and if you are going to give vertical, then vertical will be changed. Skew means like something like this. Okay, the skew. So this is the skew. Okay, and when it comes to rotate org, moreover, everyone would have used this particular transform property in gallery, right? So while you're taking a picture, something, let's say for the PDF files or whatever, the orientation will be changed, right? At the time, what you can do is you can give a rotate option, or we can simply say you're watching a YouTube channel, and if you want to make it as a full screen, then what you can do, you will be rotating it, right? So this anyhow. So the rotating will be the both, it will be in a degree format. Okay, you need to mention it in a degree value. And what is called this translate? So translate means, and one more thing for this rotate, if I have a fixed point here, okay, and then I can rotate this picture like this, or the element like this. Okay. And now if we move on to the translate, so translate means moves an element from its current position, from current position to the a different position. Then we can go with this a translate. And then scale. So what is called scale? Scale means changes the sizes of an element. Example, if I have a very tiny box, okay, tiny element, and I'm giving some value to this x and then 4 and y axis. Okay, both x and y axis, then some values is given. Example 2, comma 2 is my coordinate points. So that's what you're changing. Used to change the coordinate space of a word visual formatting model. Clear? So if I do that, you can see my element. So it would be like this in this point. Clear? That's so now we understand what are the different transform property values we have. So now the other one more example. So example is like transform matrix. So matrix is also one more property we can use, and the transform translate. Okay, and then one more rotate, and then scale and skew element. Okay, so first what we are doing, so we need to create a different elements. So let's say here I have a different main elements, but the child element alone, I'm going to give a property, different property and the value. So same property with a different value. Okay, let's see one example so that we can understand. So how we can work on this. Okay. Okay. First, I'll create a basic template. This is about CSS transform. So what are the values we have? So first one is translate. So what it will do, it moves an element from its current position. Move an element from its current position. Okay. And then example we can give, the property is going to be what? Transform, and the value, that is our value is going to be translate. Here I will provide X and Y axis. So this is a basic syntax. Okay. And the example you can give, transform and translate some values. Example 20 pixel, 30 pixel. And rotate. So rotate means rotate an element around a fixed point. Okay, so this is about moves an element, but this is to rotate an element. Okay, in a fixed point. So the property is going to be what? Transform. Transform. And translate. So here you need to provide angle value. So rotate. Okay. So the example you may give a transform, rotate of angles and angles, let's say 25 to 45 degree. And the third one is scale. Scale means it changes the sizes of the element. Okay, whatever the element we have, the size is going to be varying. We'll see one example for each one. In transform, everything your property is going to be same. And scale of X and Y axis. So here in this one, and for rotate also, you can give a 3-dimensional views. Okay, sorry, that is here you can give for X axis as well as Y axis. Scale of some value, example 1.5, 2. Okay, and then the fourth value, skew. Skew any element along the X and Y axis. Clear? So this is again, it's going to be what? It is going to be angle. Let's copy this. Only changes the value is skew. Here, and then matrix. We can have a matrix. So this is for 2D transformation. So transform matrix A comma B comma C comma D comma A comma X. Totally, we have a 5 values here. Well, I'll tell you how we can execute the code for this one. Don't worry. And then I'm giving a value, let's say matrix of some 5 values. You can give some random values. 0, 1, 0, 0. Okay. And even you can give a multiple transformation is also possible. Multiple transformation in the sense transform, translate. So here, for example, 20 pixel, 30 pixel. And if I want to add some more transformation, then I need to leave a space in between and then can add up values. And then I can add a value. Okay, that's all very simple. Clear? So this is how it is going to be. So as of now, I think you guys don't have any questions. So let's get into one example. For each and everything, we can see one simple examples how to work with this things. Okay. One minute. Okay. So first we will go with the basics example. Okay, like how we can make the changes in this transition. So transformation, right? Okay, let's apply. Um, Inside the body element, I'm going to create a DAV container. Okay. Okay. And inside this, let me create one more DAV container. Let's copy the things. So here I don't have content. Let me give translate, and here sorry, scale. And then here rotates, and then skew, matrix. This one is what is that we have added? Multiple transformation. Yep, that's all. So now what we can do is we are going to give a different class name for this. Let's say ID is equals to A. DB IDC. Then ID D ID E. Okay, and then IDF. So, and then the second step is I need to include this external CSS file queue. So how we can include it? So how we can include the external CSS file? We need to include it using a link. REL is equals to style sheet. HREF is equals to file name is external dot CSS file. That's okay. And then we can work with this CSS file. Once you complete with your HTML file, you can move on to the CSS file. So div, let's give some height. What we can do is we can remove this div container as a parent element. So we remove this. So for common body element, you can give the margin is going to be 0, and the padding value is going to be 0. And again, some font family you can include. So this is a normal procedure you need to follow. Okay, let me go with cursor. I like this font, so that's fine. I'm using it. And next is IDA. So IDA is I will try to translate. IDA is equals to, let's take the translate value, the same value I'm just taking out. Okay, so transform translate of x comma y. May copy the same thing. transform property and the value is translate 20 pixel to 30 pixel. But I want to know, I need to give some background color at the border to identify where exactly it is placed. Okay. So that's why I'm just adding some color, and text color is going to be white. Then what we can add? Can add some border. Okay, so we can run this program. Okay, so it has been, translated from its current position. So let's say I'm changing this value. So we not let's have this here. Okay, I'm changing the value for the x-axis. I'm giving 30 pixel. You can see in the x-axis it is moving towards 30 pixel from the current position. And I'm here, I try to change it as a 40 pixel. From the top, it is moving towards down, right? So that is a translate property. What is translate property? So translate moves an element from its current position. Okay. And next is rotate. So I'm going to rotate something. So how, if you want to give width and height also, you can give. Let me give a width 100 pixel, height 100 pixel. Okay. So clearly you can see the next element is ID element. ID hash p. I'm copying the same thing, but one alone I will change. What is it? So I'm going to change the value of this one. Rotate. I want to rotate this particular ID element to 45 degree. We need to mention as 45 degree. You can see it is rotating towards a 45 degree. I'm changing this to 20 degree. So it is moving towards this. If I use minus negative value, you can see it is in the anti-clockwise, it is just moving minus 10. Okay. So anti-clockwise, it is going on. If I give a 0, then it will be in the normal state. Okay. So it will be 20 degree. And one more thing I need to add here. So always give break in between so that it will not get overlapped. Can also give one more. Okay. Fine. And for all the elements. Great. So the next is again for hash p. What is hash c? Hash c for rotate. So this is for scale. Okay, we'll copy this here. Okay. For B again, I'm changing this to scale. Scale means it will elongate or it will change the size of an element. See here, it changes the size of an element. So now, if I change the value for x-axis and y-axis for both, for the x-axis is 2, and for y-axis I'm giving 1.5. You can see it has been elongated. And for x-axis, I'm just giving 1. Okay. And for the y-axis means it will be elongated from top and to the bottom. Okay. So In the top, it was, just overlapping. That's why it is not showing up. Let it be 2. Clear? So rotate, everything is done. And now we will see about skew. So what is skew? Skew means diagonally elongating. It is, skew an element along the x and y axis. So that can be done. How we can do this? Skew is also a degree value. So if I give it for a 20 degrees Celsius, it is accepting for both the things. You can also mention for y-axis, okay, and even you can give it for x-axis, or if suppose you try to give for both the both x and y-axis, that also possible. Clear? And then what is the next element? Matrix. So what is matrix? The matrix is a 2D transformation. Am I right? So 2D transformation in the sense we need to give some certain values for this transformation. So how we can work on this? Any idea? So what are the values we need to give? So let's see. I'll tell you the first explanation of this matrix. Okay. So even you can also do the 3D transformation here for this matrix value. So before going to that, so what is A and B? So A and B means it's horizontal and vertical scaling factor. Okay, and then sorry, that is A and D. A and D is so A and D is horizontal vertical scaling factors. But when it comes to B and C means queuing factor. Okay, B and C. What is then E and F? E and F is for the translation. Very simple. This is for scaling. Scaling means it will what it will do? It will change the size of an element. When it comes to the skewing factor means skew an element x and y axis. Okay, clear? So these two will skew and these two will change the size of an element. And when it's come to a translation, it will move the element from a current position. You know, so then how we can do this? Let's see one simple example. Okay, let's say hash e. Hash e. Let me give some width of 200 pixel, and then height of some 300 pixels. Some background color, so we'll copy the background color and everything. Okay, so here what I'm trying to do is I'm going to add the transition. Transition is another property. With this transition also give you some kind of changes in your code. Okay, what are the changes? Is you can give a transform property inside this transition, and also we can improve uh, duration and the delay. And also one more thing is what are the timing function that can also be included in this place. Okay, so here I'm just adding a transform. So transform is a property I'm going to change, and then this is for 0.3 that is seconds, and ease in, ease out is nothing but there are some timing functions we have. So we are going to follow that. In this timing functions, if I talk about this timing functions, you can see the values like ease in, ease out, ease in, and ease out, and then leaning. So these are the different values we have. Okay, so what is the main difference between all these is, so when it going to start, so that is at how much delay it is going to start on. how fast we're going to start. So that will be noted for each and every timing function, and also the end, uh, the end of the speed or slow. So that make a major role in this timing function. Now I've given like I'm going to create a transform. So that should be performed within a 0.3 seconds, that is duration, using a timing function of ease in wizard. So when it will be it is going to change or it is going to apply. While I'm hovering means I'm just doing like this, right? Mouse in and out. So that is going to be called what? So let me reduce this better. Small is enough. Huh? Okay. So if I give E hover, hover means let's say transform matrix. What is the first value? That is horizontal scaling value. Let me give 1. And then skewing value. So we know why we are giving minus, right? It will do it in an anti-clockwise. And then 0, I don't want the y-axis. And again, for the y-axis scaling purpose, I'm using the 1 value and 0, comma 0 for translate. I don't want to move this element to the other position. Okay. So let's over this, you can see some changes is appearing, right? Like this, you can make a transformations using this matrix values. Clear? And finally, multiple transformations. How we can do the multiple transformation? Hash if say wait, so copy the same thing to this. Okay. So now let's say transform property. The transform property, I'm going to include the multiple values. Okay. So how we can do that? Using a space. You know, let's say I have this, just take it from here. Yeah, there is a multiple transformation. Give, translate, translate 20 pixel, not 30 pixel, and rotate 45-degree in scale of 0.5, 1.5. So you can see all the things has been done here. Give me 1 minute, students. Okay, thank you. So now is I hope you guys have understood about this transformation. Can we move on to the next one? Yes or no? Everyone is clear with this transformation? Yes or no? Or do you want more example? Please let me know. I hope my voice is audible to everyone. Students, are you there? Fine. Thank you. So now the next is, I think we didn't complete example for this transition. So I will tell you what is transition. A simple example about transition. Okay. So what is this transition? This is used to control the smoothness and the duration of CSS property changes. Okay, but transformation is all about to apply something that is FX to an element, right? But here the CSS transition, this may asked in the interview here. Okay. Just to control the smoothness and the duration of a CSS property. Let's say, what is the syntax for this? Let's see what is the syntax for creating this. First, you need to mention the selector name. Related to that, a transition property, and then whatever the property you want to include that you can provide, and the duration and timing function. In the previous example, I know showcase you one simple thing about this transition, right? So there will be a property called transform and duration like 0.3 seconds and timing function is like we have provided ease in now. Clear? So this is how it will be. So the next is I'm going to create in the body element. Let me create one button. So type we can give transition. Transition is my proper that is a button name. So next in the external.css file dot the element name is button. Then I'm going to give some background color and the other stuffs. Okay. The color is white. And then I am give some border. Salmon. Okay, next a transition property. In this, I want to change the background color. So previously it is prism, right? Sorry, crimson. But I'm going to change the background color in my while I'm hovering the button. So that is my task. So here I'm giving a property as background color. In 0.3 seconds. And please. And while I'm hovering the button, I will change the color to violet. And also the font size I'm going to change. Let's say 70. And what else if you want to change? opposite color, yellow. Okay, that's all very simple. Let's move on to the okay, this is my button. If I hover it, you can see the transition has been updated. So what is transition? Sorry, ma. It is used to control the smoothness and the duration of the CSS property. That's it. Simple. Clear? Now we can move on to the animation. CSS animation. So what is CSS animation first? It's a technique to change the appearance and the behavior of the various element in a web page. Let's say for an example, I have element, okay? And I want this element. So this, let's consider this is my web page. So it is in the same place. My element is in the same place, but what I'm trying to do is, if this is my web page, I want that center element should be moved here and down and bottom right corner and top left corner and right corner. So it should move towards this place. So how we can achieve this? How we can achieve these things? Using a CSS animation. Okay, what it will do? It is used to control the elements by changing their motions on a display. It has two parts. What is the two part? So one contains the CSS properties, which describes the animation of an element. The other contains a keyframes. Okay, one is CSS property. CSS property in the sense, example, I have this original, so let's take, this is my original element, okay? The original element, what are the things we need to give? I need a width, height, okay, let's say example, height and some background colors and some color for it and lots of things. So that is going to be a CSS property. This is a keyframe. So keyframe is nothing but where I want exactly to place this element while while we are doing the animation. So that is called as a keyframe. Clear? So now you may confuse like what is this keyframe? Because previously you don't know this word. Okay, now while you are just listening, you may think like, so what is this keyframe? Keyframe is nothing but it called as a art rule. So here we are going to use one art rule that is called as at keyframe. What it is? It is nothing but at keyframe. Okay, so that is called as a at keyframe. So keyframes are the foundation with the help of which a CSS animation. With the help of the CSS animation work, they define the display of animation at a respective stage of its whole duration. Okay, they display the animation at its respective phase for a whole duration. So, what are the other details or important things we need to add inside the case? So, what are the essential things we need? The essentials are like animation name. So, in this particular thing, you need to devote some time to understand what all those. So, easily you can understand what is this animation name. But when it comes to a duration, what it is. Animation name in the sense, the name of animation, you can give whatever the name you want. That is a customized one. Because you don't want to worry, you can give whatever the name you want. But what is this animation duration? So animation duration is a time duration. It takes animation to complete one cycle. Okay, to complete the entire cycle. Okay, so what is the duration is going to take? Animation timing function. So this we already discussed a lot of time. Linear ease in, ease out, and ease in out. Animation delay. Animation delay means it specifies the delay of a start of an animation. Animation iteration. This specify the number of items the animation will be repeated. So how many times the animation is going to repeat it? There are two things. Okay, example, if I have a dot here, you can move towards the end of the page. But is the process stop till here? You don't know, right? So you need to provide the iteration form. So how long it is going to iterate? Okay. And animation direction. So what is animation direction? Animation direction in the sense, let's say, uh, whether it is going to go in a normal way or it is going to reverse or there is something called as alternate and alter reverse. So these are the multiple values for this animation direction property. And then one more thing that is called as an animation fill mode. Fill mode, how the styles are applied before and after the animation. Okay, so that is called as a fill mode. Okay, so 1 minute. Okay, so the animation play state, this property specifies whether the animation is running or fast. And example, here you can see there is one container. So this is a container from starting this place to this place. So this is called as a container. So that we have designed here. Okay. So next is for this main element. Okay. For this main ID, we have to provide some properties and value, right? So there are two parts, right? So what are the two parts? One is CSS property and the other one keyframes. So now we have given the the property. So the next is once we give the property for this element, the second stage is we need to provide 1 minute students. Give me a minute. Sorry. Okay. The keyframes, let's say 0% and 50% and 100%. So what is this 0% and 50% 100%? We'll see in the Visual Studio Code. Okay. Let me delete this. Okay. The first one is define the keyframe. We need to define the keyframes. So how to start the keyframe? So there's nothing but you need to mention at keyframes. At keyframes is the art role we need to provide and the animation name. Okay. Next to that, so in the last example, I show you like 0%. So what is 0%? 0% means a styles at the start of the animation. Okay, that is going to be what? 0%. And 50% means styles in the middle of the animation. And what is this 100 percentage? Styles in the end of the animation. Yep. So this is to define the keyframe. So next we can see how to apply the property. This is the first point. The second point is like apply the animation property. How we can apply this? So we need to provide any name for this. Example, giving hash A. A is my example I'm just giving. So after this, we need to provide, sorry, this is the name of the keyframe. What is the name of the keyframe? Animation name. And then what are the animations you are going to provide? Okay, so let's say I'm just giving an ID and animation name. What is the animation name? This is my animation name. And then delay. So that is duration is going to take 2 seconds. And then uh, next to that, we can add the timing function. And, 1 second infinite. Okay, these are the values we can add. Clear? Third one, we can create a HTML page. Right? So let's see one simple example. Let's take a very simple example. I'm creating a DIY container. Let me give the class name to be A. Okay, let's go to the external CSS file. First, we need to create the is a class name, ID name. Class name is dot .a. Now the animation. So first we can create a keyframe. Then secondly, we can go with this properties. Okay, at keyframes. The animation name I can give. What we can give style. Okay. In between animation. Here I need to provide the set of values. Let's say 0% of some things to be changed and 0% of the percentage of some styles we are going to change. Okay. And then 100% of some styles. So now I can give the animation name here. 2 seconds. And 1 second infinite. Here. In the 0%, let's say I can give some. So here I can give some values. Background color changes. Simple thing. We can go with a very simple thing. Background color change. Okay. So now I think we have done. Yeah. So let's go to the code. And I think I have created one container. What is a mistake I have done? I need to create a container. So I need to mention some details for this container, right? Let's say this one dot A. Okay, and give some width. I didn't give any, appearance, a physical appearance for this element. That is why it is not showing. So let me give 100 pixel, and height is going to be 100 pixel. And then if you want, you can also add a default background color, which is in the starting point. Let me go with blue violet. And if you want to give some border radius, however, this is the border radius is not important, but in case, but it will look elegant. So that's why I'm going with this kind of border radius animation. And I want, so here itself, let me give instead of giving in this place. So animation of, I want this particular, there is animation name and it should repeat for duration should be 2 seconds and infinite. Okay. And we can change this. We can change this to transformation, transform property. Let's do this first. You can see the changes of color, right? You can see the changes of color. So let me give some light colors. Black. And then I will change this to pink. So now you can clearly see pink, blue, and things are changing. So this is a simple animation we can make. Okay, clear. So first we need to provide all the properties, and these are the important thing. And still, you can also apply some transform properties. How we can apply the transform properties? Same transform. Whatever the property you want to give, just give it. Translate. I want to move this value from one portion to the another. So y-axis is going to be 0. What are the percentage? Let's say 20 percentage and 50 percentage, 20 percentage and 100 percentage. Here. And for this one, 40 percentage, and this, let's go with 60 percentage. Now I will change the transform value, that is translate value. Anti-clockwise, minus 30 pixel and minus 15 pixel. You can see it is a little bit bouncy, right? Because we given for the x-axis. Let's try for the x-axis now. X-axis means we will move towards the horizontal line. Here, this is a very, very simple example for this, animation. So any questions, Ma, as of now? Can we move on to the media query? Is clear, students? Yes or no? Can you show thumbs up so that we can move on to the next topic? Okay, thank you. You can see only one thumbs up. What about the remaining students? Thank you, Lakshmi. Okay. So media query is very, very, very important one now. Okay, please make sure that you guys are going to work with a lot of examples for this. At least you know to try some. I just want to tell you this little story to you. Okay. So one of my brother. Okay, he just got one very simple opening just for I think 5,000. It's a long back. Okay? And per day he used to watch at least 200 of videos, and he used to create a lot of projects in a day itself. In a per day he used to watch some 200 videos. Just imagine. Okay, so now he is working as a project manager, so that is a really a good example. So he is also from, there are different native mediums are there, right? So he is a native medium. He is not good in communication as well, but now he's a manager, so project manager in IT. Okay, so what I request you guys is each and every day, whatever I'm doing today, example for transition and transition, mainly why I'm showing the syntax and the explanation is you have to understand the concept. Then you can work on with the different manipulation. So it will be easy for you. If I show you a very lengthy code, if you're not understanding, then there is no use. Okay. So that's why I'm just explaining each and every syntax. And then we are going for an example, real-time example. Here, I request all of you to at least execute some, whatever the concept I'm doing today. Uh, if once you complete the class today, you won't get time. In the morning time, obviously, we'll be free. Some days will be, it'll hectic day, but not all the day, right? So you can take any one example, like CSS animation. In a CSS animation, it's a very simple example. You can collaborate with the other properties and do some kind of different things. And if you do that, please share it with me. Okay, so that also will be encouraged by us. Okay, I want everyone to be participated in a very good manner. So not just for a sake, you should not learn the things. Okay, so you will forget whatever I'm teaching now. If you're just closing, just for a 2 hours or 3 hours you are learning here. Once you complete this session, you may forget. So what you can do is just have a practice then have a laptop with you and execute the code and tell me if you get this output or not. So like that, if it is going to be an interactive, then the session is going to be very great. I can see very less number of students have joined today, but I don't know. But yesterday the strength was really good for the batch one. Okay, fine. So now we can move on to the media queries. So let's see what is this media query is all about. What is this media query and why we need this? What is the CSS media and queries? What is CSS and media queries? Any of you? Okay, let's see. Okay. So before going to an explanation, I will show you some image. Okay, this is my website. Okay, this is my website. Okay, I have created this website using my laptop. Let's say laptop. So this is a web developer. A web developer have created the website using a laptop. What happened is it is going to move towards the client. So client is having a mobile. The user, every user, most of the user will be having a mobile, right? So they are having a mobile and say something like a mobile. Okay. So what are the page I have created here? So do you think it will be very clear to the mobile also? Whoever can create a website, whoever can create a static website, even the students, the kids are also learning these kind of courses now. They can also even create. But the only important thing is how we can identify the person is going to be professional or not. So only because of this using the media query. Okay. So what is this media queries exactly? So a developer have created a website for a laptop, that is laptop mode. And if I think the developer think that it is going to be viewable and it is going to be responsive for the mobile also, it is totally wrong. If in only this that particular developer use a media query, then it will be applicable for the mobile. Okay. So that's what they are saying. The media query in CSS, it is used to create a responsive web design. It means that the view of a web page, it differs from the system to system based on the screen or the media type. Breakpoint specifies for what devices with size, and the content is just starting to break or deform. Let's say I have my content. Okay, my content is occupying the. Okay, it is occupying the entire page. Okay, and the font size is like some 70 pixel. But when it goes to the mobile, the content may get break or deform. Okay, so that is the reason why we are going with this media query. So next is we should understand what are the breakpoints we have, and then how we can create this media query. Okay, let's jump into this. And before moving to this, you need to check many things. What are the things within height of the viewport, within the height of the device, orientation, resolution? These are the important things you must. So what is viewport? Viewport means this particular point, the top right, that is left corner, till this, the entire thing is going to be a viewport. The device is like mobile or it's going to be an iPad. Okay, it's going to be an iPad or that is going to be a laptop or extra large laptop. Clear? So these are called the orientation. Sorry, these are called as the devices. Then what this orientation? Orientation means a landscape or it's a portrait. That also, okay, clear. And media query consists of a media type that contains one or more expression which can be either true or it can be also false. Okay, this is the syntax. So syntax we can see it in the Visual Studio Code. This is one of the example in the PPT which we have created. So this is the line we need to include. So what is this line? The name is viewport and the content is width equal to device width and the initial scale is 1.0. What is this? Name equal to viewport means this is the viewport space. Let's take from this place the entire box that is going to be a viewport. Okay. And then content means whatever the content I have given you, okay, that will take accordingly to our device mode. Let's say this is for my laptop mode. In mobile mode, it will change the content accordingly. That's why we have included this. And what is this initial scale 1.0? Initial scale 1.0, that is nothing but a zoom level. Whenever you give your content or images or whatever the properties in the value, you may specify in the website. So that what happened is sometimes that may get varied. Let's say if you give some image value as some 500 pixel, that may shrink or that may enlarge. If you didn't give this initial scale to be 1.0, what is this 1.0? 1.0 means nothing but it's a percentage value. So whenever you try to zoom some content on browsers, or it is going to be a Word document or Excel sheet, or let's say, what else? There are a lot of things, right? In the laptop mode, there are more things we have. So if we are trying to change the zoom level, so we'll be keeping the exact value of 100%. So that is called as 1.0. You can mention as 1.0 or else you can go with 1. So both are similar. Next is, first I'm specifying the body element to be light green. So this is in light green now. Later then, adding a at media, that is at media at role. So we apply this for a maximum width of 600 pixels. So then later it will change to the light blue. You can see here. You can see one example so that it will be easy for you to understand. Before going for an example, we should understand the basic syntax first. Okay. And at media, you need to mention this meta name. This should be mentioned inside the head element. Okay, I'll tell you the important things. So the head element, you need to provide meta name equals to viewport, and then content equal to width equal to device hyphen width. And then initial scale equals to 1.0. That's all. Later that you can understand what are the breakpoints we have. So let's say breakpoints. For mobile, I can give 320 pixel to 480 pixel. Okay, that is my breakpoint for mobile. So mobile is very, smaller in size. That's why the resolution is going to be what? 320 pixel to 480 pixel. Let's see. Let's go here, click on insert this value. Okay. Let's say if I click on this mobile option, you can see it is starting from 320 pixel. We move on to the next one, that is for mobile small, you can see 375. And if you go to large mobile, it is 425. Then later on, it's a tablet means 768 pixel. Okay. That's why we are mentioning like 320 pixel to 480 pixel. And for iPad, 1 minute more. Okay, ma. So it is for iPad. So iPad means it starts with 480 pixel. So here if you go mobile, and this is for mobile largest some 425, right? So we are taking it as 480 pixel to 768 pixel. And for laptop breakpoint or a small size screen, 768 pixel till 124 pixels. And desktop 1024 pixel to 1200 pixel. And for extra large size, that is laptop. This is also for laptop. This will be around 1200 pixel till you don't have values. So more than 1200 pixels. Clear? But now we understood. So what are the things we need to identify for the breakpoints? Very important thing is a syntax for this media query. What is a basic syntax? The first one is example. Let's say at media screen. I'll explain you. Okay, don't worry. Mean width of 320 pixel. So this is my example. Let's say. So what is at media? At media means it's called as a at rule. And what is the screen? Screen means media type. Media type can be anything. It is not only screen. It can be all. All means it should match all the devices. And the print is another media type. And then screen and speech. Speech is for screen readers. And this is for screen with that is devices with screen. So we can go with screen option. Okay. So we can here we can change all or print or speech. And then min width. So what is this min width of this one? So the min width, a minute, let me add one more thing. And max width of 768 pixel. So min width and the max width is called as media features. And what is this and? And means operator. Clue. And means operator. So this is a key word. At means keyword. The media is a attribute. Clear? This is how we'll be creating the syntax. So now we will get into the basic program. How we can work with the basic program. Let's say for an example. mm, so first we will create a HTML element. Okay. First, we create a header H1 my responsive web page. And then section. These are not semantic elements, which we already know. If you don't know also, please check the previous video. So don't worry, guys. I also shared the videos link with you, I guess. So there you can explore the things. Let's say some paragraph. We learn more about media query. This is my paragraph for my section. And if you want to add some images, and add images src is equals to, let me get some image from online. Here's the browser. We'll give it as 100%. Let's see how this is going to be. Okay, so that's all. Our that is the HTML. The structure is ready. So now we can go to the external file. So let's create the basic things. Margin 0, padding 0, and font family like cursor. So let me go with, okay, this time we can go with monospace. Okay, so that's what header is. For the identification, let me add some color. Background color and this one. Whatever you're trying to add, always add this. Pixel offset. Hmm. Okay, and I want this header to be placed in center. So since that is the case, adding a text align as a center. The next one is padding. Here I required some space between my header element, that is content, and the border. So included, added with this header point. Next is section. Here what I can give is, I can give some width. So this is going to occupy the maximum of space. So let me give it as a 800 pixel and the margin of 20 pixel and auto. So what is 20 pixel and auto means? So this will contain the value of top and bottom, and this is going to be for a left and right. Clear? And then the padding value is 20 pixel. For image, we've already given a value, so let's skip that. So now we can move on to the at media maximum width. Okay, at media, directly I'm just giving the value of maximum width of 600 pixels. So now the section, okay, the section is previously we have given us 20 pixel, right? So here I'm changing the padding value to be 10 pixel alone. See, we can also apply more values here. You can see the spaces. If suppose what is the value that is for 600 pixel, it is going to be 10 pixel of a padding value. So let's say starting from whatever the starting value is going to be. So let's say 300 or for 400, or if it is going to be for 600. The width is going to be the padding value is what? The padding value was 20 pixel, you can see. But if it is going to be more than 600, 601. Sorry, we didn't add this one, right? Let me add one. We already added. It is more than a 601. I will check. Right. For the differentiation, I can go with colors. And first, we will see about the colors, and then we can change the other properties. Okay. Violets. Mm, black. Okay, now, okay, I'm sorry. I was applying for the section, am I right? I'm applying for a section. 1 minute, students. 1 minute. Okay, students. Actually, in this example, we have given for the section, right? So where is the section? So this is my section. For better understanding, I can add one border here so that we can see how it has been expanded. Black. Then give some dark color, red color. Okay. So now if you go here, just refresh. Is just one not that is six, let's say for 600. If I select this box and select this entire box, you can see it is 6 and yeah. Now this is 20, it is showing. For the normal section, it is 20 pixel, right? If it is more than 601, if it is going to be 600, then you can see the difference, right? It is 10 padding. If it is going to be 600, maximum of 600. If I change the value to 400 also, it is going to be the same padding value. You can see the maximum is 600 pixel. So from whatever the least point it's going to be, from that starting point till 600 pixel, that the padding value is going to be 10 pixel alone. Okay, but if I change the value as a 601, it is out of my media query. Then what is the value? The padding value is 20 pixels. So if I select this and see the padding value is going to be 20 pixels. Clear everyone? Any questions as of now? And also I can show you example with background color. So it will be very simple for you to understand. I can apply the another media query. Okay, let's go with the another media query. At media. So this time I'm going to add some two values for this media query. Let's say at media, a minimum width uh, of 6, not 1 pixel. And then maximum width of 768 pixel. The body element is background color of I give this and color white. So the body background color is going to change. Let's see. I refresh this page. Okay, so I have given 601. So let me reduce this. You cannot see. Okay, 601. What is the 601? The minimum width of 601 and the maximum width is what? 768 pixel, right? 768 pixel. Till 768 pixel, you can see this violet, blue violet color. But if it is going to beyond this 768 pixel example, 769, then the color is gone. And below the 601, below 601 is what? 600. Okay, that also you cannot see. Clear, Amma, about media queries? Definitely, I need your confirmation for this media query because this is very, very important concept. If you are applying for a static web page or for a web developer, okay, if you know JavaScript very well also, you need this skill. Responsive, creating a responsive page is very, very important. This is very essential first. You should know about this media queries while you're creating a page. I want everyone to create a page with a media query. You can create whatever the page you want. So I told you some projects, right? Or just think upon the project and create the front end and apply the media query. Clear now? Can I get some response, guys? Don't be silent always. Please be interactive. Give some responses. That will be very, very good for us, right? For you as well as me, so that I can also understand. Or do you want more example for this one? If you understood, you can just tell me you have understood. Give me some put some text like understand, ma'am, or I don't understand. I need more example. Whatever the query it's going to be. Harika, Tanushri, Narayanan. So Narayana has given. Sai Kiran, Rahib. Yes, ma. At least can I get some thumbs up? Okay. Okay, fine. Thank you, ma. Thank you, students. So next topic is about CSS grid. So what is the CSS grid? So once we complete this, we need to check out some self-practice exercise that you guys have to complete and need to submit before Tuesday. or sorry, before your next session. I think the next section is going to be on QET, right? So let's see what the CSS grid. So what is the CSS grid? So just an explanation. Is a powerful tool that allows for two-dimensional layout to be created on the web. So the display grid, it creates only the single column grid container. And therefore the grid items will be displayed in a normal layout flow, one item below the other. Okay, and then next it is called as an inline grid. So let's see what is this in the next slide. First, the grid, whenever the question is comes, so what is CSS grid? You need to understand this is a two-dimensional. Here you can see it is going to be two-dimensional, one, and this is two. Okay, so rows and columns will be there. And then grid container. So container means this is my box. Okay, this is my box that is called as a grid container. Whatever the elements I have inside this, that is going to be what? Grid items. And what is this difference between this one and this one? The property which we are going to use here for the grid concept is display, and the values are grid and inline grid. Grid means you can see the default and span the full width of the grid container. Whatever the container width is going to be, example, let's say it has a 200 pixel. Okay, it has a 200 pixel. The element is just for 1, 2, 3, 4, but still it occupies the entire width of the grid container. And next is called as an inline grid. What is this inline grid? So this is my container box. Okay, this is my container box. In this container box, I've mentioned as a 200 pixel, but still, whatever my content, so that necessary space is going to be occupied. So this is a difference between the grid and the inline grid. Next, come to an aligning the grid items. So now I know I have an that is container, and there will be a set of elements will be pasted. But how it is going to be arranged? We have to arrange the elements. All right. To arrange this one. So that is called as a justify item. Justify item means to justify the grid items along the row axis. So row axis, it will be placed. It will be aligning or justifying the content on the row based. So there are some different values we have for this particular justify items property. The values are, you can see start, end, center, and stretch. Okay. And what is this called align items? What is called as align items? So align items means it is used to align the grid items along the column axis. Okay. And here also we have multiple values for the align items. Just remember two values for aligning the grid items, justify items and the align item. Now we can see how to create a grid. So before going to the grid concept, yesterday also I shared one website, very simple website that is about Amazon and Flipkart. So what is this Amazon website and Flipkart website? So this is a shopping website. So moreover, every student would have used this particular website for shopping purposes. It may be you have purchased some laptops or whatever the thing is going to be, right? But we miss to note this particular concept here that is about grid and flex. These are the two different layers which is really very useful nowadays. Okay, let's say first is online shopping. So online shopping, you know, you can say a top mobile accessories for your smartphones. So how the elements has been placed? Elements has been placed both in row as well as column. Am I right? So this is my grid container and my elements has been placed in between in a row and column wise. This concept is the one of the example I can say the Amazon website. Another one is the Flipkart. So what is a Flipkart website? It is a single dimensional. Single dimension in the sense it can be moved like this. You can see it is in a row wise, or we can make it this particular concept in a column wise as well. Okay, clear? That is simple to understand. So this is a single dimensional. You can see whatever the elements it has been placed. Every element will be in a this concept only, the flex concept. Clear? Now we can move on to the. So we'll open this online shopping. But, and give it as an Amazon. We'll try to replicate this. So if you see this grid means two-dimensional layout. Okay. 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 So here, what we can do is we are going to create some two different container. DIV container. So that is my main container is name is going to be, let's say, let me give a different name, a gallery. And my child name is, uh, so child name is gallery item. Fine. And inside this, I will have a image SRC file. Okay. Same thing here as well. Let's take some five roots images. And the another, we can pick fruits. Okay, fruits also we can do, or electronic items. So this will not be available just for, okay, we can go with some laptop images or tab. Right click and copy the image link. That's all. Okay, I have a two images right now. So now I'm going to arrange this item. So let's say I can also give some specific way. So this 100. So let's say 100 pixel is enough. And for this also, Same thing we can copy. Very simple. Now move on to the external.css file. So body element, the margin is 0, and the font family, Georgia. Okay, for the container element, I'm going to give some properties to make that particular container more appealing. Okay, so display spirit is the first one. That is a property name and the value is grid. The next is I need to segregate it into a different columns. How I can segregate it? I have to provide the value for this, right? So let's say grid template columns. So as it is a gallery, so let me skip this one bit. Okay, I'm just going to give a value for the grid template columns. I need to split it as a column. So repeat. So repeat is a method or the function which we will use. Okay, so here we can give whatever the values. Uh, so that is used to split the container, that is grid items, into a different rows or a column. Okay, so let's say I'm giving an autofill. So what is autofill? Go and check here. So in the last example we have discussed, right? So what is autofill? So autofill means just to show you how you're going to, make the values, right? So do you even have an idea about autofill? Any? So just to, sizing it. So like, the auto flow, we can say with a value of column. So like, to define how the grid template row is going to be. When it fills up, the column will, move on to the next explicit column. So that's why we are using this. Okay. Autofill, comma, and then min max. So minimum, that is max. And the width is going to be 200 pixel. And this is for repeating. So like how many columns you're going to separate. So I'm giving for 1 F1. Okay. Minute students. I know. I know. Okay, this is for 1 F1. Next is if I need a gap between one gallery to the another gallery, then I can give 10 pixel. Just 1 minute more. Sorry, one second. Okay, students. We're just splitting this 200 pixel, and this is one frame. Okay, this is the gap between one grid to the grid item to the another grid item, and the padding value is the space between the content that we already know, right? And then for gallery item also, you are supposed to provide some properties and value, right? So the content should not be overflow, should be hidden. Okay, and then secondly, I'm adding border radius 8 pixels. So it makes enrich your content or your web page. And to make it more looking good, so I can go with the box shadow. Box shadow is similar to the text shadow, but here we are applying for the box, for the content. So 0 is horizontal, vertical, and then the blur value, let's say 5 pixel. And whatever the color you want, so you're going to specify, just you can give it. I'm going to provide, let's say, 100, 50, and 100. Okay, comma 0.5. So I need this color. So the next is I'm adding, I want to give or I want to apply some specific width and property for this image. So image should contain or occupy the entire that is container. So we will specify it as a 100%. And next going to be a height. Height is auto. Auto means it will automatically calculate the height value depending upon the based upon the width and display. It's going to be blocked. Why? Because this is defaultly the image is inline. So that's why we are changing a value to be a display of block. Clear? And then border radius is 8 pixel. And then here for making more presentable, I'm adding the thing called transition. So we already know this example. I'm just giving the value alone. If you don't understand, you just we already explained. I already explained this concept. And then IMG5 over it. What's going to happen? So what happened? Transform. I want my element. I want this element to increase both, horizontal as well as vertical. Sorry, that is move an element. Not move. It is change the size of an element. That is scale, right? So I think we have done. Let's get into the output better. Again, do this one. Okay. So this is how your element has been placed. Can you see? So you may think it is very simple, but if you hover, you can see the impact of how the sizes are getting changed. Here also you can see. So this is how the same will be replicated in the real time. Go to the Amazon website also. You can see some discount products. So if you go and check the things, it will be over. It looks more presentable and more attractive for the user. So that is why we are including this one. Clear? Clear with this? And I request you all to do the same thing with the different images. Let's say, and also you add multiple values like this will accommodate. So refresh. You can see can provide different images and you can see the gaps and the radius. Everything has been applied. Clear? Clear, Amma? Everyone? Grid concept, CSS grid. Shall we move on to the next one? Mainly, you may ask about this min max. So min max is nothing but it is to ensure whether the column adjust based on the available space. So, but at least 200 pixel wide. At least it should be at least 200 pixel wide. If the size is going to be more than that, it will again you can see all the sizes. It's going to be similar. It does not depend upon the images. Okay? This image is very bigger than this one. When you compare with this one, this is very bigger. Okay. For that purpose, we are adding this autofill and min-max. So can we move on to the CSS Flex now? Yes or no, students? I definitely need your response. Can we move on to the CSS Flex? Students, are you there? Okay, perfect. Give me 1 minute, students. I'm just getting a call. Give me 1 minute. Okay. So now we can move on with CSS Flex. We will see the basic of what is CSS Flex. So CSS Flex, it's a flexible box or also known as a CSS Flex box, is a new layout mode in CSS3. So what is the example we have gone through? A flip cart, right? Flipkart is a best example for CSS Flex concept. Okay. And the CSS Flex box is used to make an element behave predictably when they are used with a different screen size and different display devices. It provides more efficient way to a layout and align distribute the space among the items in the container. It is mainly used to make the CSS3 capable to change its item width and height to best fit for all the available spaces, and it is preferred over block model. CSS3 flex box contains the flex container, flex items. Flex container means this is the in the image you can see. This is the entire box. It is going to be called as what? CSS container. And what is six flex item? Flex items means this is the one. Oh, in the previous example, I forgot to mention one thing. You also have some additional values now, like justify content. So see here, justify content center. Where is output? Okay. So here, if you give some particular value, let's say If my image is very less, okay, now I can remove some elements from this container. I'm talking about the CSS grid. Okay. If I remove this, so justify items. Yeah? Justify items. Center. So not flexing edge. Better like columns, auto. Can create one more element. Then I'm missing here. Let me check. Justify. Okay, let's try with align item first. Align item ends. What is end is the value. But here in align item, it should be placed in a vertical manner. Let's say I'm giving value of 800 pixel for my gallery. Gallery. Okay. Here you can see it has been placed in the end, the vertical way. Okay. And if I give it as a center, in an 800 pixel, you can see it is placed in between the center. If I change this to start, it will move on to the top. Okay. And if suppose give this to be center, that is align item to be center, and justify items to be center. Sorry, justify content. It is not aligned. 1 minute now. Okay, first thing we need to understand. So this justify content is for the container. Okay, we can give this for container, and justify item is for my element. Okay, how my element is going to place. Okay, let's say I'm giving my justify item. Make it. So actually, this justify content and align items to control the placements of items. So where exactly you want to place. Okay, so let me take the different example. A very simple example we can take because the alignment is not good here. Let me take a very simple example to explain this. Let's say item 1 and item 2 and then item. Okay, item 2. I have three grid items here. So I'm going to name this as a item. Here, that's all very simple. The gallery and have a list of elements inside this. So now we can go to the body element. Better we can have the same thing. I don't have image and the other things. So this is going to be the same. So and for the body element, let me give some height. Viewport height. Viewport height means how we are saying as a viewport width. The same thing, a viewport height. The viewport width, the whatever the user is going to see, that is going to be the viewport, right? So it will have a width and height. So that's why we have giving. So we are giving the height to be what as a 100 viewport height. And here also, I'm going to add a display to be grid in the body element itself. And how to place an item. So place items means, so I'm placing the item to be center of the grid container in the viewport. Okay. So in this particular center, I want to place this item. So next is dot. What is the name? Gallery, right? Gallery. Gallery. Display of grids. And need to split this grid template columns. I want to repeat these for 3 columns and same value, same width is going to be occupied. So 3 columns with the same width. Next, the gap I need of 20 pixel. And here comes, I am going to give a justify content to be what? Center. So this will place the content horizontally or to be make it as a center. Justify content and then align items. Sorry. Align items means this is again a center. So vertically center items within the grid. So now we can go to the child element. Child element dot item. Adding a 20 pixel border, 1 pixel solids, and some color. With border radius. It is okay. So now we have created a grid. Now we can check the element. Okay, it is placed perfectly center. If I'm changing the value to be, let's say, start. Then what happened? We actually we have placed this to be center, right? We remove this. This justified content unknown we face issue. Okay, so like this, if you want to place any elements between the center for quizzes or for any codes kind of things, you can give a random codes, right? You can give some codes like this. Random codes will be displayed. And then later on, you can add some JavaScript codes here. Make it flourish. Some more content here. Okay. So we can give some contents next to next codes. So this is another example for CSS grid. So now we can move on to the CSS flex part. The CSS flex is also the similar thing, but it is going to be a single directional. That is a single dimensional. Okay. Okay. Fine. So now we will see about a CSS flex. It's a very simple concept we can go with. Right. So in a CSS flex, check whether my mic is on. Fine. Text box. Here the property is display flex, and the other things we need to add. So we'll see one by one. So if I have a div container, so I'm going to give a name to be a class equal to flex container, or we'll just give it as f container. Okay. And the child element div class equal to f items. Okay. Let me give some names here. Like item one, or else we can add some content here better. Okay, let me add some content. What we can add is I'm giving some heading like element for headphone and some image. Okay, and some paragraph, and I need some button. You know, button is once again students. Sorry, guys. Okay, what we were discussing about? Okay, headphones. Let me take a headphone image. Select any one of this image. Okay, so copy image and we can add it here. So if you want to specify the width, let me give width to be 100% of the container. Okay. And also we can add some paragraph. Let's say I'm going to add this. So this is my paragraph. And then my button. Button is add font. Okay, let me, what I can do is, as of now, we didn't give any kind of properties here, right? So we can apply a property. Let's say body element is margin 0, padding is 0, and font family. So something I'm just adding here. So next to this, let's container. And then my child element is going to be flex items. Dot flex items. So flex container means, let's say first we can give the display to be flex box. And I want this direction to be in a row wise. Okay. And whatever the other properties like the background color and all other stuffs, you can provide it. Let's say light blue, that is aqua. And the color is going to be white in color. Okay. And here I can add something background color and the things. So here, let me change this to blue. Okay, that's all. Let's check. Okay, the background color is blue color. And it is this can create one border also to identify where exactly it is placed. Let's say 1 pixel solid and then red. Red. We can also increase the size to be 10 pixel. Okay. You can see this is the container, the flex container, and inside this you can see the flex items. And for this also, let me create a border. Border is going to be border 1 pixel, green color. Okay, this is a split between this and this one. And if you want your image to be streamed, then you can give some different value here. Let's say 100% is 100 pixel. So the image gets streamed. So like this you can do. And you can also mention the font size. So like this, you can place and still you can make the changes. So better, I can keep a font size. 15 pixel is enough. We need to change for entire body elements. I'm going to add more elements. Just not reducing. Okay. Let me reduce more. 10 or 8 pixel. Okay. And again, increase the flex items in between. You can see it is in one single direction. Clear? And if suppose I'm changing this to be column, then change this to be in a column. Flex direction is going to be in a column base. But if suppose I want this to be in a two-dimensional, then what I can do? So I can easily do it. That can be applicable in a flex. So we can do the flex direction and flex wrap. So we know what is wrap concept. No wrap means it will be in a single row. So no wrap. Then we need to add more elements. Sorry, no wrap this is. So I will convert this to wrap. So now you can see change this to. So there is a shorthand property. So let me try that. Flex flow. The shorthand property to apply both this row and wrap. There is some mistake. Let me check. Happen to display. Better. I can reduce this content and will check. Okay. Just a minute. 1 minute. So here you can still it is in a single column. Sage. Okay, I try to add more elements here. Let's see. Yeah, so now it is working. Can you see? So we can apply this for, that is, two-dimension can be applied using this flex direction and the flex property. That is flex direction with flex wrap, or either you can go with the shorthand property of flex flow. Clear? Okay, and then we have the additional properties and values. So let's see how we can do with that. So same thing, like what is the justified content and the other things. The flex, that is flex direction property. So there are two properties we have, like either we can go with row or column or, sorry, row reverse. Okay, these are the options. Let's see. And flex flow justify content. What is flex flow justify content? A flex start, flex end, center, space between, and space around. Flex to start means sets the item at the beginning of the container. Okay. For example, I have a box. Flex to start means it will start here. And end means it will be at the end. And it is going to be, sorry, 1 second. Justify content means, sorry, this is for align content, align item. For justify content, it will start from here and it ends here. And this is going to be a center, and space between me. This is a space between, space around me, space around value. Okay. So these are the different values we have. So first we will see about this justify content now. Let me add justify content of, let's say, center. Okay, like, let's start. Okay, so flex start is a normal thing. And if we say, if it is starting in this place, right? If I change the value to be end, flex end. So this will be at the end. And if I get, if I specify something like space around, you can see around, you can see some spaces. Okay, this is nothing but, if example, this is a 1 centimeter means this will be a 2 centimeter. Okay, so 1, here also 1, and this before this image you will be having 1 centimeter. So adding that, it is going to be 2 centimeter. Clear? And later to that, space between. So between is, here you don't have any space. In the between alone, you can see some spaces. Let me add some gap of some 10 pixel. Or we can go with 20 pixel. The gap means the gap between the one an item to the another item. Okay. Then now, if I go with the another option is what? Align items. So align item means flexible was align items is used to do flexibly container vertically align when item do not use all the available spaces on the cross axis. Okay. So first is stretch, self start, flex, sorry, sorry. So flex start, flex end, and center and baseline. Okay, let's see. For this align item, you need to mention the height. Let me give the height to be of 100 report height. Clear? So now I can add the align items. Let's say center. Uh, Wait a minute. Can we change this one to? We can reduce the element then it will be easy. Show you the output. Two element is enough. So I can delete the other elements. Okay, I have two elements. Because of the gap and the other things, there is a space. So let me remove it. Space and this I can give it as a center. And this also I'm giving a center. Sorry, not this one. It's going to be a viewport height, and the align item is center. Clear? So it is perfectly centered. You can see. And next is now, for example, I want this align item to be placed. Skip this one. Okay, we'll check about the align item alone. I'm going to specify it as a stretch. Stretch means it stretch the element till 100 viewport height. Let's see. See here, full viewport height has been stretched. So the element has been stretched till viewport height. And then if I change this to be a flat start, so it will be in the starting place. If I give it as an end, then it moves on, so it moves downwards. Okay. And then a space round. So everything we can get. Clear? Students, did you understand the concept, yes or no? So we have completed a CSS part. I hope everyone is there. Okay, I'm sorry. The flex wrap, we already discussed about this flex wrap and align item. So same thing, it is for the flex lines. Okay. And we need to create a static web page using HTML and CSS. We'll do it on Tuesday. And what are CSS selector, types of CSS selector, box model, CSS position, list style, pseudo elements, transformation, animation, media queries, grid, and flex. So these are the concepts you have completed. So now this is a quiz time. You guys have to answer these questions. Okay. Okay, first we'll read out the question and then I will expect the answer. So which of the following is a correct syntax for referring the external style sheet? So which is the correct answer?
Option A, ma'am.
First A or B? 1 minute. Let me connect it to my mobile also so that I can see the answers. Okay, good. So it is going to be what? A. Link is the answer. And the second one, this one, this we have discussed, right? So here we have a box model, top, that is right, bottom, and this is going to be left, right? So how the range is the margin range is going to be towards the anti-clockwise, right? The option A is the right answer. So top, right, bottom, and left. And which of the following is the correct way to select the H1 header in the DIV container? So I have a example C. If I have a DIV container, okay, this is my DIV container. I have a lot of H1 element. Okay, I have a lot of H1 elements. So what is going to be the answer? I got option A is the answer because div container. First, I need to select this and then h1. Okay. And what will be the width of the div element given below? So this also we have explained. So what is this? The box sizing is going to be a default one. What is the default one? Default box sizing is content box, right? Content box is a default value. So now the content tell me what is going to be the container. So you can see the container with this 310 pixel. But if it is going to be a content box, then what is the value? Can you send me as a value with instead of option? Can you send me as a value? So just we need to calculate the width of the div container. So let's say this is a 310 pixel. All right, this is a 310 pixel plus what is the padding value? Padding value for width is left and right alone. It is not going to calculate the top and bottom. So 2 into NT plus what is the border value? Border is 5. So 2 for the left and right into 5. So what is the value is going to be? So 310 plus 40 plus 10. So it is going to be 360. Clear? So the value is 360. And what is the general syntax code? So again, I want to explain this to you. So example, I have given, let's say this is my color, right? Aqua. So if we want to use this color for the multiple places, let's say I'm going to use it here for the border as well as for the background color. So how we can apply this? So what we can do is we can give colon root. Okay, so we are just creating a root. Inside this, let me define background color of or let's say we can consider hyphen blue or aqua. Okay, this is going to be my color. I'm setting this to be background color. Sorry, second students. Okay, we are running out of time. 1 minute. Let me close it up. I'm doing it correctly. So either you can give it as a background color or you can give some kind of RGB or whatever the value is going to be. Let's say it is 180, 120, 100, 0.5 is my RGBA value, that is color. I'm going to apply this for a different things. So what we can do is for the border, what is the background color for this one? And use a variable function. Inside this, you can specify this one, right? Hyphen, wow. Okay. And again, you can copy this. Again, place it for this one. The multiple places you can use the same name. Then here. That's all. Okay, so if you go and check, Okay, the same color has been applied. Okay, now you tell me what is the syntax for this one? What is the syntax for this one? It is going to be a B option. Good. Sorry, this one, B option. So that's all we have completed our CSS part. So we can newly start JavaScript from Tuesday onward, but I need to show you one more example for the static web page, the whole creation. I need to create a whole website, static website using this HTML and CSS part. Okay, then we can go with the other things. And one more thing, students, yesterday session for some students that is for batch, but I showcase something. Give me a minute. I also want to show you. Then I will share the attendance. You can tell me the attendance. And Swarupa, right? Sai Swarupa. And one more student have given the name on, I think, on Thursday. I'm sorry, I didn't note down your names. Can you please give your name again in this chat box so that I can do it now? Can we combine the members from batch one and batch two for the project with a total team size of that you can do now. So that also I need to check because it's the same college. Okay, I'll tell you on Tuesday regarding this. Yeah. I want to check with my team also, but that is not a problem. But in a batch wise only they will be doing all the things. So I want to confirm again with them. Okay. Give me one time, Narayanan. Okay, hacker rank. Guys, on the day I have I told about the hacker rank, right? So you guys have to complete on the first week this one. That is Python and Java. Python will be 35 score point you need to get, and for Java you should get 25 points. Okay. So you should go with the easy challenges with low scores, 3 to 10 points. They don't go with the higher points. We'll go one by one. So easy example like to print out something or conditional statement, whatever. Okay. So just follow this. So I want you guys to complete within a week. On a daily basis, you need to share me the report. Okay. And also yesterday also have send you the message regarding this hacker rank. Please verify once again. Also share it again with you. And then here we have a steps how you need to proceed. Mm, So these are the steps you need to follow for hacker rank. So this is must. Can choose and how you need to write the code and everything has been explained here. Okay, I will share you all the details in the WhatsApp. So everyone has to complete this task before coming on Tuesday. And one more thing, you guys have a self practice. There I have saved this one. Mhm. One second. Let's check. Okay. So this is a self-practice question you need to complete for both HTML and CSS. Okay. Everyone has to compulsory have to complete this. If you are not going to complete, surely you will be considered as a dropout mark. Okay, because the placement is very, very important. You guys are not going to complete this, for sure, will not be considered to be a Tech-Saksham program student. Okay. So and for extra course certification, I don't know how many of them have completed. Let me also share that with you. It is Annamacharya College. So this one you guys have to complete. Some students have asked some question. I'll surely help you with that. Okay, on before Tuesday. Don't worry. So these are the activities you guys have to complete. So let me also share it in the WhatsApp group. Let us save in the downloads. Okay, ma'am. So I think we can start with the academics now.